Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Big Sky Basketball Tournaments, a.k.a. Starch Madness 2025. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kyle Hansen.
And I'm Megan Robinson. And yes, the Big Sky Conference is fully embracing the Starch Madness name this year, playing off the Potato State moniker. We'll get more into that with Commissioner Tom Westerstill a little bit later in the show. But first, Kyle, let's get right into our brackets.
Absolutely. And every single day with this tournament, we will start with the women's bracket. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right now to see where this tournament begins.
Your 2025 Big Sky regular season champions are the Montana State Bobcats, a historic season for the Cats women. They finished 27-3 overall, 17-1 in the conference, including a 19-game winning streak. The Bobcats will play their first game Sunday afternoon, along with the number 2 seed Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. They await the winners of Saturday's first round games.
But up for Saturday, it's Northern Colorado taking on Portland State in the 9-10 game. The winner of that will play the Big Sky champion Montana State Bobcats. Then in the 7-8 game, Eastern Washington takes on Sacramento State. That's a 2:30 p.m. tip-off. The winner of that game will play Northern Arizona. Then there are 4 other teams that don't play their first game until Monday. In the 4-5 game, it's Weber State against Idaho State, and the 3-6 matchup sees Idaho taking on the Montana Lady Griz.
That is our women's tournament. Let's move over to the men's bracket. A reminder, the men will play each of the 5 nights. We are here in Boise. We had a tie at the top of the regular season. Northern Colorado and Montana share the crown this year after both finishing 15-3, plus splitting a pair of matchups. Northern Colorado won the tiebreaker, so they earned the number 1 seed this week, with the Griz slotting in at number 2. It again means both teams will open play on Sunday.
But they'll be paying close attention on Saturday, though, to see who they will be playing. First up at 5:30, it's the 9-10 game pitting Sacramento State against Weber State. Those teams split in their meetings in the regular season, and the winner of that game will play Northern Colorado. Then in the nightcap, it's Northern Arizona against Eastern Washington, with the winner advancing to play Montana on Sunday night. The Jacks swept the Eags in 2 meetings this year.
That leaves these 4 teams to play on Monday. It's number 3 Portland State taking on number 6 Idaho. The Vikings looking for their 3rd straight win over the Vandals this season. And the 4-5 game pits MVP Dylan Darling and his Idaho State Bengals against Montana State. Those two split very close games this year. Don't let that 5 seed fool you for Montana State. They tend to play their best when the lights come on here in Boise.
Absolutely. The Bobcats have won the last 3 tournament titles here in Boise, including last year as a 5 seed when they defeated the rival Grizzlies in the championship game. Now for the Montana Grizzlies, they haven't won a tournament title since 2019 when they went back-to-back. So the Grizzlies are looking to end that drought this year as a shareholder of the Big Sky regular season title.
I've seen stuff like this on TV. Obviously, I've never won in my career until today. To actually be in this moment and to stick it out for 5 years, it just feels great, and it makes me feel like all the work and staying paid off.
The confetti flew and the yells were joyous as Montana cut down the first of what it hopes is at least 2 nets this season. But it had been since 2019 that the Grizzlies had a moment like this, and you could see a weight lifted when it was accomplished.
We've kind of flirted with it in 2020. We just weren't good enough down the stretch in March, and then we thought we had a team that could win the tournament, and there was no tournament. You graduate all those seniors, so you've got 2 years in a row where you graduate a ton of seniors, and we've just been rebuilding and rebuilding.
Still, with 9 new faces, the Grizzlies found the right mix of talents this season to reach above and beyond.
It's very easy to just be concerned about your own individual goals. So it's very difficult to do, and this has just been a really special group and a very deep group. Even the guys that haven't been in and participating in terms of minutes played and baskets scored and assists made, they participate in terms of our preparation and the way they support their teammates while they're on the floor, and that's what's made this special.
I come from a winning culture, and that's what I wanted to do here, is win, and we got the job done. Shout out to the coaching staff, shout out to the players. You know, we happy, but we can't be satisfied because we got to do it again.
Montana now enters the conference tournament as the 2 seed behind Northern Colorado, and the Grizzlies know well there is still plenty left to accomplish and work for to achieve their ultimate goals.
We're on a mission. We're not the healthiest team in conference right now, and we got to get our bodies right. So I think some time off would be good for us for a couple of days and then regroup towards the end of the week. So these guys deserve to enjoy it for a day or 2 and get healthy, and then we'll get back to it. But for now, bask in it.
Big key is just we can't get complacent. Just because we won this doesn't mean we know that we have 3 more games to go, and we got to make sure everybody knows that.
Well, the Grizzlies are certainly hungry for another shot at winning a tournament title and getting to the big dance, while the Montana State Bobcats are all too familiar with it. So we bring in our Bobcat reporter, Grace Lawrence, who's seen everything firsthand what MSU can do. Grace, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you guys in Boise, a place where the Montana State men have just come alive these past few seasons. They've made the past 4 straight championships, winning the past 3. I sat down with veterans on the Bobcat team, Tyler Patterson and Sam Leckalot, to talk about what makes this place so special for their team. Conference tournaments are challenging, especially with the pressure of being in a one-bid league for March Madness. MSU has found the key mindset to win in advance the past few years.
You enjoy it till midnight,
Yeah.
and then that next day it's just like, all right, here we go again.
Yeah, just
and,
back to the regular schedule work that we, do throughout the weeks in conference. But
you know your opponents really well at the end of the season anyway, and so it's really just more about just like going to play another game of basketball.
First, the team has to get to Boise. In the past, the team has done both options of flying and driving. The bus can be fun, but it's a long 7 or 8 hour drive.
Like last year we played a lot of games.
yeah, we played so many games.
Games that just lasted hours.
Hours.
But it was fun.
They know the best food spots as well.
We actually went to like Ruth's Chris. That's like
Yeah,
right next to it.
That's
What's that southern place that we went to?
that's what I'm trying on the corner.
There's like a southern like
Barbecue.
yeah barbecue place.
type thing. There's a spot, and then there's always that smoothie spot.
Yeah. I don't know,
So I love
there's
the
just
smoothies.
there's so many restaurants next like the venue and stuff.
Yeah.
That was always super good. I mean, I love Costa Vida, and Costa Vida is like right there.
5 Guys.
It's well known around the league that the men tip their championship game very late the final day, which has its pros and cons.
It's late. It is late.
Like I remember last year we got done at like midnight, and it
it
was
started
just
at
like
9, I think.
no more party, let's go to sleep.
The Bobcat supporters are one of the most well-traveled fan bases at the tournament, so that advantage always helps their team.
It's always something super special to kind of have. Just a known thing that we always have the biggest contingency of fans there.
Especially like on our band too.
Yeah, our
Like,
band
they're very underrated.
kills it.
It's the last dance for the duo that's been through it all together. If they were to tell their freshman selves they'd be chasing a 4th straight title this season,
He would have never believed you. And then he would have said that's extremely lucky.
I probably wouldn't even never thought of that. I have no idea.
Yeah, he's just shocked.
Gotta enjoy the
To have a
moment.
chance at it once is a dream come true, but 3 times is can't even blessed.
well, we'll see if the Montana State men can do something never done before this year and win 4 straight conference tournament titles.
Grace, thanks so much. Stick with us. After the break, we're talking the Montana State women. After a historic regular season, thanks to one of the most stifling defenses in the country. That's coming up next. Welcome back to our Big Sky Championship preview show. I'm Megan Robinson.
And I'm Kyle Hansen, and this is Grace Lawrence, our Bobcat reporter. And Grace, what a season it's been for the Montana State women.
I mean, 27-3 overall, 17-1 in conference, and head coach Trisha Binford's 20th season. What a historic run this year so far for the Montana State women, thanks to that stifling defense and a key Big Sky Conference transfer. Montana State averages 14.6 steals per game, which leads the nation. The team-wide buy-in and effort is something special, but second nature to this squad.
Our offense starts with our defense. We don't go unless our defense goes.
I think just our intensity. I think that's what Bobcat basketball is. It's just how can we speed other teams up, and a culture that's built upon just energy and just competing for each other, competing for our coaches.
The team has found success through their stifling defense this season, and also with the addition of Morales, who came this offseason to Bozeman from Portland State. She noted that part of her want to come to Bozeman was to win a championship. They did just that in the regular season, but the team isn't satisfied just yet.
It just gave me more drive to go win in the tournament. Like, I still want to go and do that. Like, I was like, yes, we won conference, but let's go do it in tournament. So I would think it was more like, like the drive of continue to win and continue to go and cut the nets.
Yeah, I mean, when we were recruiting her, the first thing I told her was we want to win a championship, and I think that we can do that with her, and that was our missing piece last year. And I think just after the, that final buzzer sounded, I was just so proud of her, and knowing that she'd come here for a reason, and that was that reason to win a championship. And being able to win the regular season was great, but we want one more. So we soaked in that moment. We were really proud of each other and looking forward to Boise.
Morales reflected on what this year and this community has meant to her as she hopes to bring another trophy back to Bozeman this week.
I wouldn't change a thing. Like, I'm so happy I spent my last year here with the community that loves us, that loves program, loves basketball. But it's been amazing.
Well, if Portland State beats Northern Colorado on Saturday, they'll then take on the Montana State women on Sunday, which could add some drama because that's, of course, where Esmeralda Morales transferred in from this offseason to Montana State.
Grace, thanks so much for your insight. It should be a very fun week of basketball. Now, no one has more Big Sky championships than the Montana Lady Griz with 21. No other school claiming more than 4. But now the Griz have not won in 10 years.
That's right. Robin Selvig was the head coach of the Montana Lady Griz back in 2015, the last time they claimed a tournament title. Ever since it went to a neutral site, the Lady Griz haven't quite been able to get over that hump. Nate Harris took over mid-season as the interim head coach once Brian Holsinger first initially stepped away and then stepped down as head coach. So Nate Harris is looking to snap that spell for the Lady Griz. An unorthodox season with plenty of challenges has all led to Boise for the Montana Lady Griz. After everything was turned upside down in a mid-season coaching change, the campaign has been a roller coaster. But now, the Lady Griz have nothing to lose.
It's a fresh start. I mean, we know what type of team we can play like, and so to forget whatever record we've had in the past and just go out there and really put it together for a 3-game stretch.
The Lady Griz are 7-7 since Nate Harris took over as interim head coach mid-season after Brian Holsinger's resignation. Montana was swept by Idaho in the regular season, but now gets a third crack at the Vandals, with the focus strictly inward.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to prepare, obviously, but we're going to focus on us mostly. We've been our best when we focused on us. Obviously, Idaho's a great team. Beat us twice, really, really physical team. They've got great guard play, and so we're going to have to obviously prepare and do what we can to adjust. But it's so much of it, and when we've been good, is just us being the best version of us rather than worrying a ton about who we're playing.
Since the conference tournament went to a neutral site format in 2016, the Lady Griz have just 3 total tournament wins, including picking up their first ever in Boise last year. Ironically, against the Vandals. Snapping that skid took staying calm under the bright lights, something they hope to do again on Monday.
It's a different atmosphere than any other gym that we play in all year, but not being timid about that, you know, just focusing on having the right mindset that you have in going into every other game, you know, not making the game feel bigger than itself. Yes, you could go home after that, but you can't have a fear mindset, and so to play through that.
The program has been through plenty this season, but in March, anything can happen, and UM hopes the time has come for all of the pieces to come together.
We're going to try to relieve the pressure for our kids. Again, it's a basketball game. We're going to go out, we're going to cut it loose, we're going to have fun, and we got nothing to lose. Let's go take advantage of everything we have to earn.
And Harris and the Lady Griz are looking for title number 22 to complete the transformation this weekend.
Stay with us. We're not all Cats and Griz this weekend. There are several other Montanans making waves in the Big Sky. We'll show you who to watch out for. Welcome back to our Starch Madness preview special. The tournaments get underway Saturday in Boise, but this tournament has a lot of Montana flavor. And I'm not just talking about the Bobcats and the Grizzlies.
That's right. A lot of Montanans dot all of the rosters here at the Big Sky Conference Tournament. Our Tom Wiley introduces us to all of the Montanans and Treasure State products around the league in this tournament.
It might seem strange, but there won't be a single Treasure State native playing for either the Montana or Montana State men this week in Boise. Griz sophomore and Missoula Hellgate product Connor Dick is the only Montanan on either roster, but he's taking a redshirt year, so 406 representation falls to a former Billings Skyview superstar.
He's got Dylan Darling lobbing it, and a huge flush by Julius Mims.
Julius Juice Mims is in his second season on the Idaho Vandals after a standout career with the Falcons and 2 years of junior college. Now a senior, the Vandal fan favorites and preseason All-Big Sky selection is ready to represent his home state in his final bow as a college athlete.
Oh, it feels awesome. I mean, just coming from where I'm from, being in Billings, I didn't get a lot of recognition, and a whole lot of kids over the state didn't get a whole lot of recognition. So it's a big feeling to be able to represent the state, and play for them. You know what I'm saying?
On the flip side, Montana will be well represented in the women's tournament. In addition to the numerous Montana products on the Bobcats and Lady Griz, we're keeping our eyes on a few more. Helena's Avery Kraft is on the Portland State roster. Laurel product Elise Aby is a key contributor for Idaho State.
Wow, a three-pointer by Amy.
And on Eastern Washington, a pair of freshmen, Missoula Sentinels, Emily McElmurray and Courtney Grossman of Billings West have made an immediate impact for the Eagles.
It's been huge, just like for my confidence. I feel like knowing that I'm trusted to a degree to just do my job. And yeah, hopefully just my goal is to just come into every game and leave it better than I found it and just try to step into that role as best as I can. So yeah, I've just been super lucky, especially where I didn't get to play a bunch in high school because I was hurt for quite a bit. So it's just been really fun to just play and not be on the sidelines.
So no matter who walks off the court with a Big Sky title in Boise, the road to the trophy will undoubtedly run through a Treasure State team or player. Tom Wiley, MTN Sports.
Yeah, Courtney Grossman's freshman year at Eastern Washington has been nothing short of sensational.
One of our top coaches also calls Montana home. Northern Arizona's Loree Payne, who has helped resurrect the Lumberjack program during her 8 years in Flagstaff. As our Slim Kimmel explains, it's no surprise winning has followed her there.
Wins have always followed Loree Payne.
That's one of the biggest things that our team has done is we've wanted to create a winning culture.
The Havre native won a high school state championship with the Blue Ponies, reached the Elite Eight while playing at the University of Washington, and then found quick success as a coach. But the turnaround at Northern Arizona might be her best work yet.
When we took over 8 years ago, they hadn't had a winning season in 12 years, and so we knew that we had our work cut out for us, but we knew it was about recruiting, getting the right players in, getting the right fit in, and really getting players that fit our system.
When Payne took over the Lumberjacks program in 2017, the early improvements were small, but noticeable. Now, the Jacks have played in the past 3 conference championship games.
We just have great people around this program that continue to build our players up and really try to, just go out and have fun and stay positive and have a lot of success with it.
Payne earlier this year became the program's all-time winningest coach, but another Montanan has been along for the ride on her staff. Assistant coach T.J. Harris is a Huntley Project alum.
She is one of the best leaders and she allows us to grow. She puts us in so many positions to lead ourselves, and it's been a great learning experience.
Harris is the Lumberjacks defensive coordinator, an at times stressful role given the fast tempo at which NAU plays.
We can score the ball at an extremely high level, but if you let the other team score, it's still a basketball game. We've made a lot of changes in the last 3 years of what we want to do that's going to fit our team the best, and we found a lot of success this year.
And the Jacks are again a top 2 seed for the conference tournament, with hopes of ending their run of 3 runner-up finishes with a championship.
We're controlling what we can control, and we're excited. Our players are very excited to go back to Boise and have an opportunity to compete for a championship again.
Slim Kimmel, MTN Sports.
Welcome back. Well, basketball tournaments often mean big business for host cities.
That's definitely been the case here in Boise. Starch Madness pumps millions of dollars into the local economy. Our own Allie Tripke has the numbers.
Since 2019, Boise has played host to the Big Sky Basketball Championships, bringing in millions of dollars to our local economy. I'm your neighborhood reporter, Allie Tripke, and this year's Starch Madness is expected to be another record-breaking one in terms of ticket sales as fans flock to the Idaho Central Arena to cheer on their teams. Around $6 million being poured into the city.
Everyone that we talk to seems to love it.
As players, coaches, cheer teams, bands, and fans come into town for a chance to win the tournament and represent the Big Sky Conference in the NCAA March Madness bracket.
It's a big event. The whole event takes place in downtown. It's one venue.
While the tournament is a neutral site for the 10 men's and women's teams in the Big Sky, it's no secret that thousands of Big Sky alumni live in the Treasure Valley. Visit Boise tells me that between Idaho, Idaho State, Montana, Montana State, and Eastern Washington, there's over 30,000 alumni living in the Boise metro area. Looking to get students in the stands this year, room blocks are being set up for visiting students.
We're hoping that they might bring a bus or a couple friends.
Besides the over 8,000 hotel rooms booked throughout the city, restaurants, bars, and other shops are sure to benefit from the tournament.
So last year's tournament was the most tickets and the most attendance they've ever had at a tournament that hasn't been held on campus. So we're hoping to build off of that. The Starch Madness thing they're doing this year is pretty exciting.
Visit Boise is currently in talks with the Big Sky Conference to extend their contract of hosting the annual tournament. If secured, the Idaho Central Arena will host until 2031.
Welcome back. Well, with all eyes here on Boise, it's only fitting the Big Sky has the hashtag to make this tournament go viral. While this is the first year it's officially being branded as Starch Madness, the origins date back just more than a year to this social media post from Rush, the other 26.
Now, the Big Sky has since embraced the moniker, and you'll see the logo all over in Boise, as well as on the TV broadcast. Branding like this can really elevate the conference's profile both locally and nationally. Plus, I think we'd all agree it's just a lot of fun.
When I first heard Starch Madness, I thought to myself, boy, that's really unique. It's a great tie to Idaho and obviously the history of the potato here. But the play on March Madness is really cool. The Missouri Valley Conference has Arch Madness in St. Louis, and that's cool. But this was our way to tie this to Boise and Idaho. And so I was really excited to hear about it at the beginning and then to see where we could take it from there.
Kyle, it's definitely been a lot of fun, but the real fun starts Saturday as we have 4 games to tip off the 2025 Big Sky basketball tournaments.
We're fired up to get this thing started, and Megan and I will have your coverage all throughout the tournament with the Big Sky Courtside Show beginning on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. We'll see you there, but that's all the time we've got now. For Megan Robinson, I'm Kyle Hansen. Have a good night.